And today is Monday. Happy New Week and a brand new month. Happy new month. It's June already.
It is. Happy June.
And it's also happy hurricane season. Hurricane season opened yesterday. Yeah, well, we'll keep an eye on that for you, okay? Anything happens, we'll let you know in advance.
That's exactly right.
Rather than waiting until the day after.
That would not be a good thing. We will provide you with lots of information coming up soon about hurricanes and how to keep yourself and your family safe.
Yes, indeed. We will do that. And in fact, we'll have some special programming about that as well.
Yes, we will.
But it seems that the people that are in charge of predicting these hurricanes said we might have less of a busy year.
I know. That is
good
something very good to look forward to.
Very good news. Today, June 2nd it is, and we'll be all day, and it's the only Monday this week, so thank goodness for that, right?
Oh, you're so smart.
This is the day... This is the day back in 1886 when Grover Cleveland became the first U.S. president in all of America to get married in the White House.
Has that ever happened again?
I don't think it has.
I don't think it has either. I've never heard of anybody, but then again, I didn't know Grover did.
Well, Grover did it. In fact, Grover got married. He exchanged vows with his new bride, Florence Folsom.
Interesting.
Yeah, 1886. 1953, now I do remember this.
Okay.
When the coronation of 27-year-old Queen Elizabeth II was broadcast, crowning the new Queen of England became one of the first international news events ever to be given complete coverage on television. Think about it. 1953, the technology was not there.
Right.
They couldn't do it, but they did it. All three American TV networks, plus the British Broadcasting Corporation, provided colorful images and descriptions, not images, but descriptions, because it was in black and white. They didn't have color TV at that time. Well, they had it, but it wasn't commonplace. Most viewers saw it in black and white because color was not yet standard. Quality of the pictures, in fact, was lacking compared to today's international and often instantaneous broadcasts. There was no satellite TV. They did it all, live pictures and all, by shortwave radio.
Did they really?
Quite an accomplishment. It's just unbelievable how they did this. Birthdays today include Sally Kellerman of MASH and a bunch of other movies. She's 77. Stacy Keach Jr. is 73 today. Charles Hayde of Hill Street Blues, 71. Jerry Mathers, the Beaver, is 66. I talked to him several years ago. What a great guy he is. Yeah, he and I are the same age. Joanna Gleason, I didn't know, or I had forgotten Joanna Gleason.
How old is she?
64 today, but she's Monty Hall's daughter. Monty Hall from...
Really?
Yeah.
How interesting. I didn't know that.
How about that? Birthday today for Dana Carvey, the funny man, is 59.
Yeah.
Gary Grimes, the actor, is also 59. And Nikki Cox, the actress of Terminator 2, Judgment Day, General Hospital. Nikki Cox is 36 today.
Happy birthday. If it's your special day,
happy.
Go out and do something interesting.
Do something.
That's right.
That's right. Do anything. Just do something.
On today's show, let's see. We have Director of Travel and Tourism, Miss BETSY ROSEMANN. And she's on the show today telling us how travel and tourism affects our community and the economic impact it has. But she's also giving you a lot of tidbits about other things that are happening around our community, all of our county. So you don't want to miss that.
Don't want to miss that.
We also have more lawn care information, how to take care of your lawn, and so on and so forth.
Jessica does a great job with that. Right?
She does, and we appreciate it, Jessica.
Coming up June 11th, don't forget we have the blood drive. The city and the county having a blood drive.
That's right, competition. Here we go.
Competition, yes. The county won. The city won the first one. The county won the second. So
who sees who wins this time?
2 out of 3. We'll find out.
That's right. Monday tonight. Tonight we have city council meeting.
Yes, you do.
Come and join us. 5:00 p.m. We have our work session, and then at 7:00 p.m. we'll have the regular city council meeting in City Council Historic Building, the chamber, and we'll have that 7 o'clock, typically to about 8 or 8:30. They'd love to have you join us.
There you go. And then tomorrow morning at 8 o'clock, the Wayne County Commissioners begin their briefing at 8 a.m. The meeting itself begins at 9. And tomorrow there will also be a public hearing on the county budget, the next year's budget coming up. Fiscal year ends June 30th and begins July 1st. Also, let's see, I mentioned the public hearing, that's tomorrow. Also, if you wanted to get information about the budget, you can go online to the county website, waynegov.com. There's a link on that website. You can go and read the budget yourself there.
It's also on Facebook.
And it's on Facebook. There's a link on Facebook as well.
That's right.
All right. Today is the 2nd of June. It's National Bubba Day.
National Bubba Day. What exactly does that mean?
I have no idea, but if you're a Bubba, happy day to you there. It's your day.
You know anybody named Bubba?
Well, in fact, I do.
I know of somebody named Bubba.
Bubba Williams, Carl Williams, he's a dancer.
Oh, yeah,
you know,
exactly, I sure do.
Carl, yeah, all right.
How about
and
that?
It's also National Leave the Office Early Day, and there you go.
We all like that.
You got to do it. It's
It's a national thing, right?
It's a national thing, yeah. We got to go.
Yes, we
Here's
do.
our first interview.
Joining me in the studio today is Miss Betsy Rosemann. She is the Director of Travel and Tourism for Goldsboro, Wayne County. She's the lady who's in the know. She knows what's happening in our community and why it makes such a difference. Good morning and welcome back.
Good morning, Kim. How are you?
I'm great.
Good.
You and I talk all the time
Yes.
about all these events that are coming to Goldsboro and Wayne County and why it matters. Can you tell the community a little more about why travel and tourism and how that affects our economic impact and how it affects our community in general, as a whole?
Well, economic impact for the county alone is $144.5 million a year.
Say that figure one more time.
$144.5 million a year.
My goodness.
And $10 million come back in tax dollars. It saves the average citizen about $85 per year. That would be money that the taxpayers would be having to work over for infrastructure, schools. However, the local city council or county commissioners want to use that money. So it's a tremendous economic impact, and we're always looking for new innovative ways to bring travelers into the community and keep our hotels full, because our department is generated and operated by occupancy tax.
And can you explain to the community, if they don't really know what occupancy tax is, what does that mean?
Occupancy tax is a tax levied on visitors that come into an area, does not affect any citizens, and it's a 5% tax for hotel rooms. However, some of the military or government is tax exempt.
Okay.
So we don't get 100%, but it's 5% based on whatever the revenue generated by the hotels. And the hotels are generating about $1.1 million a month in the county. And we're getting ready to open a new one.
Yes, tell
June
us about
14th.
that. Tell us what the name of it is and where it is.
It's a Holiday Inn Express and
Okay.
Suites, and it's right behind Chili's and Logan's. And the original Holiday Inn Express is now changed over to a Best Western Plus. It's an upper echelon tier of Best Western. If you have not gone by and seen they did a complete renovation. The rooms are gorgeous. They have an excellent business center and fitness center.
Nice. Well, you know, we're always hearing that people are looking places to hold meetings and to have various places that they can take groups of people. And they have a few conference rooms and things like that at some of these hotels, correct?
The Best Western Plus has about 1,200 square feet of meeting room.
Nice.
And the Holiday Inn Express is going to have about 1,200 to 1,500 square feet of meeting space.
So it's definitely worth business leaders' while to go and tour these hotels so you can see what some of the other opportunities are to host meetings and have other activities.
And it's convenient for any of their corporate guests coming in, or if it's a wedding or something like that, because they can stay right there on property. They can eat in the area restaurants, and everything's very convenient. Shopping, the base is right close by, hospital's right close by, corporate headquarters are very close by.
Perfect. Well, tell us about some of the other activities that are going to be happening soon or either have just happened in our community so everybody knows what's going on, because you're the lady in the know.
Well, as you know, because you've gone with me, we've been attending various legislative receptions in Raleigh.
And tell us why. Why is that important?
Well, there's a lot of bills out there that affect tourism community as well as the city. And so we're just making sure that the legislators know how the constituents feel.
Right.
How our hoteliers feel about some of the changes in some of the bills, especially when it comes to occupancy tax tourism, or there's a new amusement tax or entertainment tax, which is going to affect a lot of our attractions.
Well, you know, all this information, when we go and talk with our legislators about it, they want to know how we feel, how their community feels, because that is what they're asking for. They're asking, you know, what do my people think that voted me in this job? What do they think? What do they feel? Why do they feel that way? And how can we maybe compromise on some of these different bills? And so that's why we continue to go up there and have conversations with our legislators, correct?
And it's hard to understand everything that's going on. You know, it's our goal to teach people about tourism and travel, because people don't understand that this is a travel destination. And also, our legislators are wonderful representation of our area, and they have such a wide span.
Yes, they do.
And there's so few of them, and their voices, they have to yell twice as loud to get heard as, say, someone in the western part of the state, even as far west as Raleigh, because they have
Exactly.
a lot more representation in the Wake County than we do in this area.
You're exactly right. So tell us about some of the receptions that you're going to on a regular basis.
Well, these are typically annually held, and there's AENC, which is Association Executives of North Carolina. It's made up of like the Bar Association, Sheriff's Association, County Commissioners Association, different associations in the state. And they have a strong voice.
Right.
Tourism is strong in that because a lot of these are meeting planners. So we like to get these meeting planners and associations to come to Goldsboro, Wayne County for their meetings. And then North Carolina Travel Industry Association is the voice of the tourism industry. And they also host annual receptions, and they also do a day where they can meet with the legislators. You can make appointments and go see your local legislator.
And these are just more opportunities of time to have sit-down conversations with your legislators explaining various topics and how it affects your community.
And not only do we do it statewide, we go to Washington and do the same thing once a year.
On the federal level. So I know you've got some exciting things that are going to be happening that the public can all either join in on or they can come watch, one or the other.
Well, we'd love for them to join in.
Of course we would.
We've got our first soccer event that's a national event. It's a company called 3v3 Live. They're out of Utah, and it is ages 6 and up.
Okay.
And it's basically 6 on a team and 3 players on the field at a time. And that is going to be scheduled for June 14th at Greenwood Middle. We'd love everyone to come out and sign up. If you need more information or you'd like to register, you can go to 3v3live.com.
3V as in Victor.
The 3.
3v3.
3v3live.com.
There you go. Okay.
And we'd love everyone to come out. The community United Wayne is hosting this event. So they've been out like gangbusters and recruiting, and we're pulling teams from Greenville, Wilson. We're hoping to get Raleigh, Wilmington, as well as our own local teams.
Wonderful. So anybody, as long as you fall in that age group, can come out and play.
As long as you have a team of 6.
Okay.
I think registration's about $170 per team, which is pretty reasonable. Because any parent that has a child that travels to other
Yes.
soccer events, you're spending about $80 per event and another $150 to $200 on hotel rooms and restaurants. So
Right.
we're hoping that's going to bring in. And then we also will have, at the end of June, on the 27th and 28th, we'll have American Cornhole State Championship.
I have heard about that. Tell me more about this Cornhole Championship.
Well, we're very excited that they chose Goldsboro, and once we have this event, we'll have first right of refusal for future events. So hopefully, if this goes well, and that's what we intend to,
Of course.
because we try to spoil everyone, then this will be a regular annual event for the state. And so you can, if you're a member, you're free. It's a $20 sign up for membership. It's both professional and amateur. We're going to have public play on Friday night on John Street parking lot.
Same place, Center Street Jams are being held this year.
So come on out about 5 o'clock on Friday, June 27th, and hopefully you'll qualify and you can move up to the major competition the next day, which will be held at the Goldsboro Family YMCA.
Okay. Do you know if there's any certain kind of prizes, or is it just the be able to say you're the title winner?
Well, there will be a multitude of, there will be different prizes handed out, and then the winner of the state will go to the Nationals, which will be in West Virginia in July.
Wow, that's crazy. It's just amazing how this has just changed and evolved, and this is turning into such a, really sport throughout not only our community, but across the state, nationals.
And then if you want to get on the local league, Proco Sports is doing cornhole tournaments every other weekend. They had their first, or maybe they're doing once a month. I know the next one's the 14th of June, and that will be at the Family Y as well.
So if people want to come out and watch or participate.
You can go to John Street on Friday night in the parking lot.
Okay.
Or go to the Goldsboro Family Y on Saturday. Or you can go to AmericanCornhole.com to sign up or get information.
AmericanCornhole.com. All right, there you go. It's another big event coming to Goldsboro. And years ago, when I talk to older people that hear about this cornhole game, they're like, it just seems so much like what is it? What?
It's beanbag toss.
Yeah, beanbag toss
and horseshoes.
And horseshoes. That's what I couldn't think of. Yeah, I was talking to my mom about it recently, and she said, when I was younger, that was a big deal. Everybody played that. Horseshoes was just a fun game, but this is just taking it to a totally different level. So that's just pretty neat how it's just changed over the years. And cornhole is just one of those games that you can play in your backyard. You can have it at a cookout. You can, as long as you've got the boards, you can play it anytime, anywhere.
And we're just so excited to be able to host this event. So
absolutely.
And then we have our tennis state singles championship coming up in October.
Yeah, tell us more about that.
We will have that October 10th through the 14th, and that is we're excited to host that again.
So it's just like last year, very similar to last year?
Hopefully we'll have no rain this year.
Yes, that was interesting last year, wasn't it? But hey, it all worked out. Everybody had a good time.
They were so excited, and we have heard, Little Birds told us that we have been highly recommended for the 2015-2016 season. So that would be 2 more years back to back.
My goodness.
So let's keep our fingers crossed. And
well, I know you all rolled out the red carpet for all those players that came in from all over everywhere. Do you remember about how many players we had come to Goldsboro?
We had 280.
And they were from just across the state?
They were from throughout the state. We were expecting a little more, but there were some injuries because this is one of the last tournaments of the season. They start playing in January. So sometimes something happens between January and October. They're not able to play. But despite the rain and shuffling around of courts, Parks and Rec did a great job.
Oh, yeah. And we used tennis courts across the entire county.
We used Greene County. We used University of Mount Olive. We used Wayne Community College. We used some of the high schools, as well as Herman Park. And I think that's about it. I had to come up with 53 courts.
53? Who knew?
Oh, with Goldsboro Country Club and Walnut Creek.
Okay. That's a nice event. We're excited to have them back again this year. And anytime we can get these big groups to come to Goldsboro and Wayne County and really give us the opportunity to showcase what we have to offer here.
And they love us because, number one, we're a small town. And
very hospitable.
The event is their event.
That's right.
And all the restaurants, shops, everything opens with, opening arms. They're not. You go to some of the bigger cities and it's just another event, and they have a hard time finding it, the different courts. We had directional signs put up for where all the courts were. The restaurants were great. The hotels were great. We chartered buses to get to the players' party. So
we had nice bands for them.
Very good bands. They loved bands.
Yes.
That was fair change.
Yeah, you all really do a great job really organizing that and making sure that things went very smoothly. And it didn't matter that it rained. It still all worked out beautiful.
And our base tours have been we've had actually 2 base tours this month.
Tell us what that means. What do you mean by base tour?
For the month of base.
We can do that.
Our department, Travel and Tourism, coordinates with the base, Public Affairs, both 4th Fighter Wing and the 916th, the civilian base tours. So if a civilian calls and wants to go on base, then they direct them to our department. And we try to set it up so there are groups of 45 going on. We offer it the last Thursday of each month, once a month. And then in May, we had a group of about 12 of one of our local hotel companies brought in all their GM, or part of their GMs. So they hosted that, the 16th Public Affairs. He is new. His name's Alan Abernathy. He was fantastic.
Yeah, I just met him a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, and then on May 29th, we had a group of 45 gentlemen came from New Bern. So they were very excited. And we usually they usually have lunch off base after the tour, because the tour lasts about 8 to 12.
So it's really a nice way to be able to showcase our little treasure here, which is, of course, Seymour Johnson Air Force Base.
And it's great PR for the base.
It certainly is.
And anyone that has access to the base and gets to see some of the activities, when they leave the base, they have a whole new, they just have such admiration for our military.
Well, you all do so much in your department, and it's so varied. You have such a wide range of things that you do, from organizing, tennis and cornhole tournaments to talking with our legislators. The list goes on and on with what you all do. You're so broad, and we appreciate what you guys do. Really, it's amazing how much your hands are in our economic dependence here in our community. And we thank you for that.
And it's a fun job. And please go check out, the Hampton just had a recent renovation, so it's all spanking new. The Best Western Plus is all spanking new. And then we'll have the Holiday Inn Express all spanking new, really.
Wow.
Open somewhere mid-June.
There you go, folks. There's lots going on in our community. The list goes on, and Betsy comes once a month to keep you updated on what's happening. If you're interested in going on either a base tour or going and seeing one of the hotels, you can give Betsy a call at Goldsboro Travel and Tourism, and she can set it up for you. Thanks so much for being here once again.
Well, thank you, Kim, for having me.
We appreciate it, and this is what's happening with Goldsboro and Wayne County Travel and Tourism.
Proper lawn care maintenance can be very rewarding. Here is a Wayne County lawn care moment. I want to move on to the third grass, which is zoysia. Zoysia is one you usually didn't hear much about, and now you're starting to hear more about it, and there is a reason for that I'll mention in a minute, that you're starting to hear more about zoysia. This is what zoysia looks like. It's a little bit darker green in color than your centipede or Bermuda. The seed head's a little hard to see there, but it's got those single seed heads. And here's what the stolon looks like, and you can kind of see there what the leaf blade looks like. It's a little bit wider leaf blade than Bermuda, not quite as wide as like St. Augustine. St. Augustine's going to have your widest leaf blade. So it's got a fine medium texture, and it's dark green, which kind of is now taking interest among people that, you know, hey, I want that nice dark green lawn, and zoysia has that little bit darker green color to it than the other grasses. It does spread by the above ground and the below ground stems, your stolons and rhizomes, but it's not as vigorous as Bermuda. And zoysia, you're going to find out, zoysia is kind of the middle. It's like Bermuda's one extreme, centipede's another extreme, and zoysia is kind of in the middle of these two grasses. It's very dense. It's like walking on a cushion, which there is a disadvantage to that we'll mention in a little bit. But for that nice, and like I said, I grew up in the mountains where you had bluegrass, fescue, and you did have that nice cushiony grass, and it had a different feel to it than Bermuda or centipede, and this gives a little more of that feel to that with zoysia. It's very wear resistant, so it can tolerate wear and tear very well. It's very drought tolerant, which is always a benefit in our area. It can tolerate moderate shade. Remember, Bermuda cannot tolerate any shade. Centipede can tolerate some light shade. This one can tolerate a little more shade than the Bermuda or centipede. And nitrogen, it's about 2 pounds of nitrogen per year. And again, if that doesn't make sense, I'll clarify that when we talk about fertilizing as to what that means. The average mowing about once per week. Bermuda, you had to mow more often, possibly 2 times per week. Centipede, you might get by for a week and a half or so mowing. This one would be about once per week. It's moderate maintenance, so you have to maintain it a little bit, a little more maintenance, a little more fertilizer, but not as much as Bermuda. Here's the tricky part where I said about that it's cushiony. You mow it a little bit taller and it's got that cushiony feel to it. However, you've got those thick leaf blades in there. And when you mow it, we'll talk about thatch and what thatch means, but that's that layer of grass clippings that builds up right at the soil surface. And some are good, but if you let that thatch build up too tall, then you can have some problems with roots growing into that, and those roots that grow into it will die. If it's dry or cold, they'll have cold damage in the winter. So if you have too much thatch, a lot of times that's from over fertilizing it, or if it's not mowed frequently enough. You go on vacation, it gets a little tall and you mow it and you've got a lot of grass clippings, and if you leave those thick grass clippings out there, that builds up a thick thatch layer, which you don't want. So with this, I'll mention thatch again, but just keep in mind zoysia, that is one disadvantage with zoysia, is that it is pretty susceptible to building up a thick thatch layer over time. There's a lot of varieties of zoysia that are out now, And I said zoysia is becoming more popular. This is why. Used to, there was not any seed, zoysia seed available. Now you're starting to see some zoysia seed available. Zenith is the one that can be seeded. So that's a type of zoysia grass that can be seeded. It's showing up more. I haven't checked just local places, but there are places, you know, you can kind of shop around. There's a lot of, once you get out of Wayne County, like Duplin and Sampson, there are some sod farms and so forth that, you know, are sometimes good places to check to see what they have available and such. Here's what Zenith looks like for zoysia. And most of the varieties of zoysia have to be sodded or plugged. Meyer and Emerald are two varieties you hear of for zoysia. They would have to be sodded or plugged. These are older varieties. They're slow to get established, so it does take some time for them to get established. And the mowing on these two types is a little lower. There's some other ones that are a little newer varieties of zoysia, Crown, El Toro, and Cavalier. They establish a little quicker, and they're a little more coarse, a little wider leaf blade, and the mowing height on them is a little higher than these older varieties of zoysia. People asked about what can I put in there until it gets established, or can I mix some of these to get some benefits of both? And usually we don't recommend mixing them, and try to avoid that the best you can. I know that's hard and depending on your situation, so I'm not going to have a very clear answer on this, except just to point out some things to think about. But when you mix different types, you're going to have some competition one way or another. Like you said, the Bermuda's aggressive, it's going to compete. If you have established centipede, actually established centipede, once it's established, is pretty aggressive against other grasses. If you have another, and some people will try to do that, say, well, I know centipede's slow to establish, so I'm going to seed something else. For a while, say it's Bermuda, the Bermuda would compete with the centipede, but if the centipede ever got established, it would start actually competing back. So there's challenges with mixing grasses because they are going to compete with each other. And this gets into tough situations where if you've just, you know, had construction, you're looking for a lawn and it's the wrong time to seed, you're looking at somehow trying to have just something to cover it until it is the proper time to seed these lawns. Some people will try like your fescues or ryegrass, something, but you always have a challenge of now you've got another grass in there that's competing against it. So you can try to use something, but you're going to have some challenge. So there's not a perfect one that's easy to get rid of once it's in there, that if you're just trying to use it temporarily there. And like I said, I know that doesn't give a clear answer, but it's just, there's always going to be that competition between them. Yeah. You can pick up your copy of the Carolina Lawn publication from the Wayne County Cooperative Extension Office. The office number is 919-731-1520. I am Jessica Strickland, horticulture agent with the Wayne County Cooperative Extension Office. Thank you for watching.
We are back on Wayne Goldsboro Television.
Yes, we are.
That indeed we are.
And thank you, Betsy Rosemann, for always being so informed and explaining to us things that are happening around our community and how people can get involved.
That's exactly right.
And thank you, Jessica Strickland.
And you know, once in a while I hear people say, you know, there's nothing to do here.
Yeah, they're not listening.
You're not listening. Did you hear? In fact, did you hear? You heard. You were there.
Yes, I heard. I
But
believe
did you
I might
hear
have been
what
sitting there.
Betsy Rosemann had to say about all the stuff that's going to be going on here.
And there's more.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
There's lots more.
Just scratch the surface. That's all.
Absolutely.
She did. Yeah. All right. Okay. Today is June 2nd. That means tomorrow is another day. June. I'll catch up with that in a while. Anyway. Got the fan blowing all the papers around.
I know. Things just keep on moving.
She mentioned the cornhole state
She
championship.
did. I was just looking at that, too.
State championship.
Happening right here in Goldsboro.
All right.
Got it.
All right.
Don't forget Cruise the Noose is coming up. We've talked about that a little bit, and that's so much fun. It's a paddle trip. Of course, you're in a canoe. Last year, I believe, they had between 90 and 100 canoes. And it's a fun day. It's on Saturday, June the 21st. It's $10 entry fee. You can call 739-7484 to find out more, but of course it's through Goldsboro Parks and Recreation, and they do a great job that day.
Yes, they do.
They really have it organized where you're starting at different times. You're going cruising down the Neuse, and it's like a guided tour, and then you'll stop and you'll have lunch, relax a little bit, get back in your canoe, and finish up the trip. But they do a really good job. They do a good job of organizing unique events anyway.
I wonder how they knew how many canoes they had. Do you think they counted them?
I'm quite sure they might have counted them.
Can you imagine how they do that?
One canoe, two canoe. I knew you were going to say that. I've learned to read your mind,
that's
Mr.
bad.
Alley.
That's not good. That's not good. That's dangerous. Dangerous. All right, let's see now. What all do we have here? An art system. There's an art system hanging in the multi-purpose room at the senior center. An art system.
What is an art system?
Well, they're now able to hang framed artwork
Interesting.
at the senior center. The goal is to feature artwork created by senior artists or to feature collections owned by seniors. And if you have an art or a collection, if you have an art object or a subject or a collection you'd like to display at the senior center, you need to contact Aaron McAuliffe. And
Of course
Aaron's
you
number is 705-1785, 705-1785.
That's right.
Okay.
Don't forget, this Wednesday, Farmers Market out at Herman Park. It'll be that morning. I think they're going to open around 8, and they'll be open around 6 or 7 that evening. So when you get off work, you still have the opportunity to swing by Herman Park. Lots and lots of vendors out there, fresh produce, flowering plants, all kinds of baked goods.
Baked goods.
I know.
Boy. Don't they also do this downtown on Saturday?
They do. On Saturdays from 8 until 12, they'll have the Farmers Market at Cornerstone Commons for those of you that it's not convenient during the week to come out on Wednesday afternoons.
I'll tell you what, I love a farmer's market.
You and me both.
Support your local farmer.
That's
All
right.
Let's see now. Retirees on Call Seymour, that's ROC Seymour, Rock Seymour, those who served, partnering with those still serving. If you are a family member of someone serving in service, or if you yourself are serving, or if you're a retired person from, if you've separated from military service here at any point, and you need something done, if you need a favor, you need a ride, you need your dishes washed, you need a floor scrubbed, you need your kids taken to school, or whatever you need. If you need a favor, then call ROC Seymour, Rock Seymour. If you need an extended family, if your child needs a tutor, if you need a home-cooked meal, anything like that, call Rock Seymour at 580-0007. We had Mick and Mick O'Donnell in a few days ago, or a couple of weeks ago.
You know, it's a fantastic program, and it was so needed.
Yes, it was. It really was. So if you're a family member, perhaps your spouse is deployed, then things get
Give
tough
them the phone
sometimes.
number again.
580-0007.
There you go.
Kind of like James Bond, but
Yes.
0007
That's
instead of
right.
007. 007. 007. 580-0007. Okay?
If you think our Parks and Recreation sits around and twiddles their thumbs, let me just tell you, I'm just going to name one or two little things that they offer.
What do they
and you
offer?
can go to their website, goldsboroparksandrec.com, and find out details.
Okay.
Of course, they help with the Wayne County Senior Games. They organize the farmers market, the cornhole tournament. They oversee all the outdoor pools, Mina Wheel and Peacock, which are free to the public, by the way, kickball challenges, summer series in Herman Park, which like come out and listen to bands on Sundays, movie on the lawn,
Whoa.
a couple Saturdays and Fridays throughout the summer, cruise the Neuse, volleyball, baseball, community campfires. Of course, we had the tournament not too long ago, the Shad tournament.
That's right.
Zumba, bridal expos, cheerleading, pottery, challenge football, line dancing, ballroom dancing, adult soccer, challenge flag football. Oh my goodness.
It goes on and on.
And the list goes on and on.
When do they have time?
I don't know. So if you're interested in any of those things, and there's many, many more, GoldsboroParksandRecs.com.
All right, we got to do this again tomorrow. We'll be
Yes,
back.
we will.
Tomorrow being Tuesday, it's another day. We'll do this again tomorrow. So join us, please, at 7 a.m., at noon, or at 5:30. Take your pick. Also online. Don't forget the City Council meeting tonight.
That's right. Join us at 5 o'clock for the work session, 7 o'clock for the regular scheduled meeting.
And County Commissioners tomorrow morning. Until then, until tomorrow, I'm Wayne Alley.
And I'm Kim Best, and this is what's happening in your community.